This past week, award-winning Zimbabwean journalist Hopewell Chin'ono was arrested once again. He was taken into custody for what authorities say was a breach of his bail conditions after he posted a message on social media regarding the bail application of Henrietta Rushwaya, the president of the Zimbabwe Miners Federation, accused of gold smuggling. Zimbabwean authorities are accused of harassing journalists like Chin'ono for reporting on government corruption and maladministration. According to the 2020 Reporters Without Borders Press Freedom Barometer, Zimbabwe ranks 126 out of 180 countries for media freedom. The RSF says the security apparatus in the country has not yet lost the habit of harassing journalists with acts of intimidation, verbal attacks and confiscation of equipment still being standard practice. The Media Institute of Southern Africa in Zimbabwe reports that as at the beginning of November, the country has seen a total of 33 violations against journalists in 2020 so far. My colleague Peter Ndoro spoke earlier to opposition party, the MDC Alliance Deputy National Chairman, Job Scala, about Hopewell Chin'ono's arrest. He began by asking him if he had been in contact with Chin'ono.
Chin'ono is in prison. We have been with him since the day of his arrest. We managed to visit him at Harare Central Police Station where he was detained. We went to attend his court proceedings from the day he firstly appeared in court on Thursday, and we also appeared on the proceedings that took place on Friday. And as we speak at the present moment, he is detained at Shkrub Maximum Prison.
Do we know why he's been detained? We hear that it's because he wrote a tweet about the woman who's accused of trying to smuggle gold out of Zimbabwe, and that he tweeted that he'd heard from prosecutors that she was going to get bail, and the authorities said that this was a crime.
So bizarre are his charges that he has indicated on his tweet that he has been told that the state were going to consent to his bail. We're going to consent to the bail of Henrietta Rushwaya, who is the person who was caught at Robert Mugabe International Airport trying to smuggle 6 kg of gold to Dubai. So by simply indicating that he was told that the state were going to consent to bail on the matter of attempted to smuggle gold to Dubai, they alleged that he has indicated that he has hijacked the National Prosecuting Authority, and that he now has sources within the National Prosecuting Authority. These are the same people whom they said were the ones that were going to prosecute him on his initial charges, which he spent 54 days in prison recently of inciting political violence. So they were saying that he has infiltrated the National Prosecuting Authority. So this is the charge which he is facing. Why he correctly indicated that the National Prosecuting Authority is compromised according to his sources he has obtained from the National Prosecuting Authority, and that the state were going to consent to the bail of Henrietta Rushwaya, a criminal who was caught at Harare International Airport with 6 kg of gold, which was supposed to be smuggled to Dubai.
There does seem to be a number of anomalies with this case in particular. First of all, that he was taken to an anti-corruption court, and then also that he's been taken to a maximum security prison alongside people charged with very serious crimes, such as murder.
Very, very bizarre, my brother Peter, that he has been taken to the anti-corruption court, while in fact his tweet was about fighting against corruption. So it is one of those things that the citizens of this country and also his legal practitioners have been trying to tell the court that the court has no legitimacy to try him, as it is an anti-corruption court. And his crime is just a mere offense which can be tried by any other ordinary magistrates court in Zimbabwe. But however, they persisted that they are within the jurisdiction because a person has been brought before a magistrate and that court was being manned by a magistrate. So whatever happened was within the confines of the law in as far as the state is concerned. But however, some of us, as you understand, definitely we raise our eyebrows when we see that rather than for you to be tried by a court, an ordinary court that deals with criminal offenses, you are taken to a specialized anti-corruption court, and also with issues of the interference with the judiciary that has been raised both by judicial officers as indicated by an affidavit written by Justice Erica Ndewere recently on the attempt to suspend her from the High Court. We noticed that she indicated that there was a lot of interference vis-a-vis her attended to the court of Priska Mpfumira and my bail hearing at the material time when I was fighting for my liberty from Chikurupi maximum prison. Secondly, also it is against both our constitution and also in terms of the Prisons Act to have people who are not yet convicted to be detained at Chikurupi maximum prison. Chikurupi maximum prison is a prison only for convicted inmates. And however, Hopewell Chin'ono is not convicted. It is also a prison for maximum security, which means the most daring and dangerous criminals are the ones that are detained at Chikurupi maximum prison. Those whose matters have already been disposed of by court, who are now currently serving their prison sentences. So this is one of the major issues that has shocked us. And I was happy when his lawyer, Beatrice Mtetwa, on Friday fought tooth, nail and claw to make sure that the injustices of detaining Hopewell Chin'ono at Chikurupi maximum prison is brought to a halt.
One gets a sense that whilst Hopewell Chin'ono's case is high profile because of who he is, that in many ways he's symbolic of what's happening to many people in Zimbabwe, particularly journalists.
Very clearly, journalists are people who should be allowed to do and carry out their business of reporting what is taking place in the country. Journalists also, you have got the role for you to hold government accountable on their miscarriage of duty, and it is one duty we are expecting that the journalists will be able to carry it without undue influence or duress or without interference from those who are in power. So specifically, we are really despaired by the way how the government of Zimbabwe have behaved on the way how they are persecuting Hopewell Chin'ono over the manner on which he has reported the matter of Henrietta Rushwaya concerning her attempt to smuggle 6 kgs of gold to Dubai. So it was within the ambit and parameters of his duty for him to inform the nation about what he has obtained via his own sources, that the state will consent to bail when she will be brought to court. And so prophetic as it was, truly the state, on the initial appearance of Henrietta Rushwaya in court, they consented to bail, that the state were consenting to bail, and that they were not opposed that she be granted bail, until the presiding magistrate had to intervene for him to say, no, you cannot bring your consent to court without telling me the compelling reasons why she must be admitted to bail. That's the reason why the matter is currently still on bail application. It was through the judicial officer who had to question the logic on how the state on such a serious matter would come with a consent, while these other people, like Hopewell Chin'ono's case, is one matter which is very trivial. In terms of our Criminal Law Codification and Reform Act, he can, if convicted, he can only spend a year in prison or level 5 of a fine, which is a very trivial matter. But you find out that the state is opposed for him to be granted bail, which is a clear message that the critics of our government are continuously being persecuted. This is not the first time. This is the second time when Hopewell Chin'ono is being persecuted within a period of about 2 months. And we cannot really allow this to continue as in a group of people who have suffered with.
Mr. Sikhala, why do you think that the authorities are going after Mr. Chin'ono in this way?
On the basis that they don't want those people who speak truth to power. They want those people who dance around them, who will always say that they are right while they are destroying the country. Hopewell Chin'ono is that kind of a citizen who is so passionate about his country. He loves his country to the extent that he cannot hide the truth on the basis that he will be persecuted by the state. So he simply just spoke the truth to the state that he himself, myself, and Jacob Mgaruvumwe were denied bail for a period exceeding 5 weeks in prison. While his sources have told him that the National Prosecuting Authority were going to consent to bail when a person who tried to smuggle gold to Dubai is going to be consented to bail. Why the matter of smuggling gold to Dubai is very serious in as far as citizens are concerned is that it siphons the national economy to a foreign jurisdiction. So the people of Zimbabwe will know that there is nothing the country will benefit from it. So specifically, that is the reason why it attracted national interest.